Hey, yo, shalom, 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 Israel, shalom. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to my apostles, the elders, the bishops. All right, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth, teaching me this truth, who rule well, and to the like-minded brothers who teach the doctrine of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. The doctrine of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, not the doctrine of man. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the 144,000. It's your brother Zakar Kasad. Just going through this Navs online, I was looking up respective persons. I was looking up a bunch of stuff this morning. But yeah, man, it started making me believe, you know, and that I was wrong in a lot of situations, man. I was wrong in so many situations, all right, whenever I first came into this truth. And I just didn't realize it, because I had respective persons. When you get on these videos and you look up to men, you look up to men and, you don't want to get into, I wouldn't get into, you know, uh, sometimes it feels like we can get into it to where we have too much respective persons. Too much. When you see something wrong, you don't say nothing about it. You let things go because this person's this person or that person's that person. Well, that ain't how the Lord works with us. All right, and we shouldn't have respective persons. Like I literally myself have as I look back, whenever I was I was, you know, young in the truth. There was a lot of that, man. There was a lot of that. I remember seeing things that was wrong and not addressing it or not, what I'm saying, just because of the individuals that may have said something or did something that was wrong. All right. And it felt wrong in my heart, but I just never said anything about it. You see what I'm saying? So let me start off with this scripture. So in the Navs, I just got it pulled up. I use the Navs sometimes to go through scriptures, look things up. It's a beautiful tool. So Proverbs 24 and 23, right? And I'm just going to pull them up here. Let's just go from the top, 24 and 23, because guess what, man? We get into this respective persons. It ultimately it leads to pretty much worship of men. We don't want to be in this thing worshiping men. All right. It says 24, Proverbs 24 and 23. These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respective persons in judgment. All right. So it's not good to have respective persons in judgment. All right. Let's read Proverbs 28 and 21. And it says to have respective persons is not good. Yeah, because guess what? You can easily be going off with that, man. I remember, getting involved with brothers, and you get involved with brothers and certain individuals, they say certain things. All right, like, all right, well, since you with us now, don't talk to them no more type of stuff. I got into a situation to where, it felt like whenever I was with, with this group here, as opposed to where I came from, it's like now you can't talk to them anymore, and I respected that, but that was not the way to go. I just was having, all right, well, basically, hey, they said this, so I shouldn't talk to these guys. I shouldn't talk to these guys, and that shit hurt me. All right, it hurt me whenever they say don't share their pages and stuff like that. that hurt me, and I felt like I hurt a lot of my brothers by doing that, and I apologize, man. And I had respective persons, man, and I wasn't thinking it all the way through. I just was, you know, pretty much, you know, pretty much basically having respective persons of individuals, and you know what I'm saying, like, well, this is what the Lord wants, like, type of shit. I wasn't really thinking it, but deep in my heart, I just knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right, and I would want to reach out to brothers, and I'm one of those guys that share videos a lot. I share the brothers' videos. I'm always on brothers' videos saying shalom, and you know, I have brothers that we used to call each other and things like that. And I know, you know, what happened with the situation back in the day. You know, that was, you know, I'm not talking about that situation. If you know, you know. But you know, brothers was a little bit closer, you know, and you know, once I joined up, you know what I'm saying, it was like, you know, I couldn't. I heard one of the upper guys say that don't be sharing their videos, don't talk to them and things like that. And I thought that I was like, well, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I knew it wasn't cool, but I was just trying to follow orders. But that just wasn't right, man. It wasn't right because that put, you know, brothers, you know, I know that brothers could feel like, oh, he think he better than us because he's with the group now, type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I never forget that, man. I never forget the feeling that it made me feel, you know, and I kept it in for so long, and I'm like, nah, man, this, you know, after a while you start realizing that it was wrong, man. Like, nah, bro, like, and then after a while you start seeing that brothers do the same thing. They'd join up or whatever, then they'd stop talking to you, you know, make videos about you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just sitting here looking at this thing, man. It's like, goodness gracious, what goes around comes around, right? All right, all because of basically the worship of man. No, we don't want to worship our leaders, man. All right, let's just put that out there. You don't want to get into a situation to where you're worshiping your leader more than you worship Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, because, all right, what does the scripture say? Apollos gave, you know, and then the Lord giveth the increase, right? So we're being watered, but you don't want to worship your leader. You want to respect them. You want to, you know, give double honors and things like that. But you don't want to fall into a pattern like I see these days of a bunch of man worship. All right, you know, like basically zombie, like I was, you know, not really looking at this situation like, damn, I'm about to just say F my guys who I've been with this whole time. You know, before I even got with y'all, I was with these guys. We was on each other's page. We comforting each other. All right. All right. And just because somebody says this, that, and the other, you got to obey your leaders, right? But you got to realize when things are wrong, when things are right. You gotta separate that, man. That's a test in itself for you. All right. And I'm not trying to push disobedience or any of that. But there's a spirit in Israel, a respective person's spirit, that's not good. A spirit in Israel into where we judge unjustly just because of how another man feels or how this, that, and other is, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to judge righteous judgments. And I swear I wasn't doing that because I respected men so much that I even left my own friends to appease these men. And that hurt my heart. All right, but I did it because I thought that was the right thing to do. But I realize now, see, through experience, you start to realize that you don't have to burn all those bridges with your family. You don't have to push them away all the time, or you going you not of the elect, so I'm not going to hang out with you and all those things like that. Yeah, we supposed to separate, but what it say? It says by the renewing of your mind. All right, we got to recognize these things, or else we're going to lead ourselves off a ditch somewhere, because we wasn't privy as to what was really going on, what kind of lesson the Lord was trying to show us in those moments. All right, but we don't. I'm saying it just in case somebody else goes through the same. All right, whenever you got brothers that's down with you from the go, man. All right, stay down, man. All right, not pushing disobedience or anything like that, but stay down, man. All right, don't be like I was and just push brothers to the side and act like that was the right thing to do because I wasn't thinking. I just was trying to please man. If you understand. So we can't have that respective person's spirit on us in judgment. Let's go to 1 Peter. I'm just going to read a few more of these, and it's going to be a quick lesson. And I love my brothers, man. All right? All you brothers out there, you know who you are, who I'm talking to. 1 Peter 1 and 17. And it says, verse 16, it says, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. And if you call on the Father, who without respect of persons judgeth according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. Yeah, in fear. Because you don't want to have that respect of persons demon, all right, on you, man. All right, because you got to check everything out. Everything's got to be decently and in order. All right. All right, and the biggest thing is fear. You want to fear the Lord by how you treat other individuals, man, because that's the Lord's man. You know what I'm saying? That's the Lord's sheep. You don't want to treat the sheep just any kind of other way like some of these Israelites do. You don't want to treat the sheep horribly like that, man, and not even thinking about it, how you did them. You see what I'm saying? Because you had a respective person's demon on you, because you worship man instead of worshiping the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You don't want to take that with you, man. You don't want to carry that. All right, you want to recognize that and nip it in the bud as soon as possible. All right, but because of pride, all right, you have a pride demon on you, and you won't even be thinking about it. All right, until the Lord humble your ass one day, and then you start thinking about the things that you've done and why I'm getting so humbled right now. Well, there was different situations that led up to that. You see? So we must be moving in fear these days, fear that we may offend. Scripture say offend less, and you can offend in having respect of persons and worshiping man. Yeah, so Ephesians 6 and 8, what it said. This is just all random. I'm just looking at this and, a little cheat code up here. It's all good. It says Ephesians 6 and 8, it says, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive in the Lord. That's right. Whether it be bond or free. It says, and ye masters do the same thing unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your masters also in heaven, neither is their respective persons with him. Right. So basically, yeah, just basically respective persons. Let me see what this one says, Colossians. But he that doeth well, Colossians 3 and 25, but he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done, and there is no respect of persons. There's no respect of persons with the Lord. So we can't be, in that kind of spirit also, man. All right, so that's pretty much it. What's that? Romans 2, 11 and 12. Yeah, let's go to that one real quick. Romans 2 and 11 through 12. Let's go to that one. And I'm not pushing disorder or anything like that. I'm just saying we gotta watch what we're doing, man. Watch how we dealing with brothers. Watch how we treat one another. Because the angels is watching, man. Everything going into consideration. Watch how we judging situations, judge how you judge a matter. You know, Romans 2:11 it says, "For there is no respect of persons with the Most High. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law, and as many have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law." Yeah, so what's that other one? Romans 10:12. It says, "For there is no difference between the Jew or Greek, the same as..." Yeah, I didn't have to get that one. We already know what that means. Like I said, I was just looking through there, but I wanted to grab that real quick. A few scriptures, nothing too much, man. All praises on the glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Hopefully this message is edifying. I'd like to say, hey, shalom.